I mean, that's wrong, man. I mean, that's just like torturing someone. Yeah, I mean, going in there and hurting someone is just not fair on Davis.
Jake Paul, Tank Davis.
I got Tank by murder.
Size don't matter?
Hell no.
And people, it's funny how now they're saying size matters, Jake is big, when for so long it's been Tank would kill Jake Paul. And now you get to see if that's real.
Many boxing experts are confident that Gervonta Davis will come out on top against Jake Paul. Analysts argue that Davis's vast experience and technical mastery give him the clear upper hand, with many expecting a dominant performance. Former champion Paulie Malignaggi pointed out that Jake's size won't matter when matched against Davis's refined skills and ring IQ. He stressed that Davis has built a remarkable career defined by years of excellence, leaving a lasting mark on the sport. Malignaggi also reminded fans not to underestimate Davis's legacy, as his accomplishments continue to shape boxing at the elite level. Would you like me to make this version more headline/news style, short and punchy, or more storytelling style, flowing like a narrative?
I think Davis is more to lose because he's the bona fide world champion. I don't care if he's much smaller. I think Jake Paul has sort of plateaued as far as where his boxing is concerned. It's rather low level. Yeah. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he can hit. So there is that risk. Davis, at lightweight, you're in a moment where it's too physical for you. You can clinch. Against the heavyweight, where you clinching? You ain't getting out of that corner just clinching anymore if you run out of space. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But Davis, listen, there's a lot of talking points that I'm sure we'll get into when this gets closer to the fight. Davis can still punch at lightweight. Can he drop a heavyweight? There's a lot to gain there, right? If Davis knocks
the answer is yes.
If Davis drops Jake on his ass, as much as Davis is the one with more to lose, it's still a highlight moment.
A visual that will stay forever.
Yeah. But if you get dropped, even if you're smaller, you're still a world champion, multiple weight classes. If you get dropped, what's the look? What's the feel? On the inside, as boxers, me and Chris Algieri, the champ, even you, Jim, you have fight experience, so we know that the risk is a big guy that big hits you. You're probably going down if you're a small guy if he hits you clean. So we know the risk, but how does it look to the public eye who don't understand that? You know what I mean? The public. So there is a lot to lose, though. There's a bit to gain. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with this had Davis's career arc been one that benefited boxing. Davis was manufactured and put into a position where he's supposed to benefit boxing, and I don't think he has. I think he's hurt boxing. So by giving him this reward, that's my problem. Why are we watching this? Why don't you make him earn his spot that he still hasn't earned, mind you?
Nisa Badarian, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions and a driving force behind Jake Paul's boxing rise, delivered bold remarks leading up to the highly anticipated Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul clash. She emphasized that Jake's physical advantage won't mean much against a fighter of Davis's caliber. Badarian explained that this matchup wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision, but had been in the works ever since Jake's proposed fight with Canelo Alvarez fell through. Her comments highlight the long-term strategy from both camps, constantly seeking the perfect blend of spectacle and legacy in major bouts. While skeptics claimed Jake's size could overwhelm a smaller opponent, Badarian rejected that idea outright. Her belief is anchored in conviction that skill, speed, and power outweigh size, and Davis possesses all three at an elite level. Do you want to make this rewrite short and sharp for a news article, or longer and dramatic for a hype-style promo?
I got to ask you about the elephant in the room. What weight, Nikisa, what weight could they possibly be fighting at? The news broke, Jake and Tank are going to happen November 14th.
Whatever weight they want, man, they're talking about it, and whatever it is, there's going to be a definitive outcome. People can talk about pro, exhibition. We're going to make sure this is as real as it's real.
Why was it, just out of curiosity, why is it not a professional bout and why is it an exhibition? Because I'm sure Jake would have taken the professional bout.
Nothing's been communicated as yet in terms of what it is, right? Similar to, if you remember with Paul Tyson, when we announced it, we didn't have the weight, we didn't have the rules, particularly in terms of the number of rounds, the minutes, the gloves. It's going to be the same thing here.
Gotcha. Can you just offer us any insight as to how these negotiations went? The reason I ask is because I remember back in March, I was at Tank's fight, and after his fight in his press conference, he was asked, next opponent. He said, well, my next opponent might have been in my locker room tonight, and people asked him, was it Jake? he made reference, he made allusion to. Has this been an ongoing thing, and has it ever, been at a point where it wasn't going to happen and came back, or was this always the plan?
Always been the plan for Jake to fight Tank once Canelo didn't happen. And to Tank's credit, he's a real bad dude, and he's been calling out Jake for 3 years. And people, it's funny how now they're saying size matters, Jake is big, when for so long it's been Tank would kill Jake Paul. And now you get to see if that's real. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Gotcha. Knockout?
One of them.
The elephant in the room. What do you know about how this came to be? And then if you can, do you have any idea on what the weight is going to be between Jake Paul and Tank Davis, which was just announced?
Well, considering that I'm one of the guys on the team, we always like to allow everyone in front to be able to release the information as they please.
Veteran trainer Jeff Mayweather has broken away from the majority opinion, openly backing Jake Paul in the upcoming showdown. Unlike others who favor Gervonta Davis, Jeff argued that the weight class gives Jake a clear edge. Paul, who has competed primarily at cruiserweight, naturally brings more size, strength, and reach into the ring. In contrast, Davis is moving up considerably to accept this challenge, leaving doubts about how well his body will adapt to the jump. Jeff's perspective highlights a central debate among boxing insiders. While Davis is celebrated as one of the most explosive and technically gifted fighters in the sport, the question remains whether his brilliance can overcome Jake's physical advantages at this heavier division. Do you want me to make this rewrite sound more like a professional analyst breakdown or more like a hype-filled fan debate?
You have weight classes for a reason. And, I mean, even as good as Tank is.
But it'd be similar to Logan and Floyd, right, if it's an exhibition?
No,
the weight differences.
The weight difference is way more. Jake is over 200 pounds.
Logan was around 200 pounds.
Yeah, but
who wins the fight, man? We ain't talking. Who wins if they have it? Come on now, answer the question.
I mean, to be honest, I would think Jake know how to fight a little bit. I think he should win. He beating a man that's 135 pounds. He should be able to win.
Gervonta Davis added fuel to the hype by sharing the official fight promo on his Instagram, instantly sending shockwaves through the boxing world. Many fans have been anticipating a rematch with Lamont Roach, expecting Davis to settle unfinished business and further cement his legacy. Instead, Davis chose to embrace the spectacle, stepping into the spotlight of a blockbuster showdown with Jake Paul. By posting the promo, Davis made a statement. Boxing isn't only about legacy bouts. It's also about entertainment, marketability, and growing the sport's global reach. While traditionalists may still call for the Roach rematch, Davis's actions show he isn't swayed by criticism. To him, facing Jake Paul is a strategic move that ensures massive worldwide attention and positions the fight as one of the year's most watched sporting events. Do you want to make the rewrite short and bold for a headline/story post, or longer and cinematic, like a fight promo script?
They're trying to fight they were trying or still trying to find a common medium, which is 175, so the fight can officially be sanctioned as a real boxing match. But there's no boxing commission that will sanction it because the weight is just too far apart. And Jake Paul has proven to be a true boxer now, okay? So it's considered an exhibition, which what I'm being told is going to be 10 2-minute rounds. But they wanted Jake Paul to make 175 so this can be a real boxing match and count against their record and box rec. But the fans are demanding to see him fight Lamont Roach. As I told you guys, Tank told you that he wasn't fighting Lamont Roach in the rematch. He had other plans, which is Jake Paul. He told you that in the post-fight press conference after the Lamont Roach fight, right? So with that said, that fell through at the time, and he revisited and entertained the idea of fighting Lamont Roach in the rematch. But he never signed the contract. They were supposed to fight June 21st. He never signed the contract. Then they were supposed to fight August 16th. He never signed the contract. And then he had the arrest. He had to get bailed out, so on and so forth. With that said, now he's broke his silence. He resurfaced on social media because he went ghost on social media. And he put up this promo, and the fans are responding in a negative way. And he's responding in a negative way. He's responding right back with the same energy. And he's telling the fans, because the fans are saying, hey, the money that you reportedly making, which is being said that he's going to make $40 million for this fight, according to multiple sources and Eddie Hearn and a few other people. He's supposed to make guaranteed purse of $40 million.
Frank Smith of Matchroom Boxing revealed that Gervonta Davis was initially set for a rematch with Lamont Roach, a bout many believe add another chapter to Davis's legacy. But when the opportunity to fight Jake Paul surfaced, the direction changed instantly. According to Smith, the global spotlight and financial upside attached to Paul were too significant to pass up. This pivot underscored the reality of today's boxing landscape, where fighters constantly weigh sporting credibility against commercial appeal. For Davis, taking on Jake Paul isn't just a payday. It's a chance to amplify his reach far beyond the boxing purist crowd and capture a worldwide audience. Smith stopped short of criticizing the move, but his remarks reflected how the sport has shifted. Traditional legacy fights are often sidelined in favor of crossover spectacles that generate blockbuster pay-per-view numbers. In Davis's case, the Paul fight represents both a test of skill and a business, play designed to cement his name on a global stage. Would you like me to refine this into a tight, news report style version or a flashy fight hype narrative?